And it's,
I should get it now. Let's see if it comes up.
it's on.
Yes, it's on. Okay, good. All right. Okay, Christina, good morning.
Good morning to you, Lubit.
Okay. So, thank you for doing this. It's
And
always wonderful to sit back.
thank you for co-doing it with me.
Okay. No, I'm learning a lot of things, so I'm happy. So now, here is how my thought is today. Yesterday, I read a blog from one of my cousins. She lives in Sweden and from India. And then I haven't talked to her since so many years, but I keep following her on Facebook, and she's a thoughtful person. And she wrote a blog yesterday. I haven't even asked her if I should do this, but anyway, I don't think she'll mind. She wrote, Secret of Happy Life. Secrets of happy life, do they really exist? Is there a secret of happy life exist? And she raised few points. One of them was, people tell her, hey, life is, just do what comes in your heart, do those things, and you will go toward happy life. And she said, I don't know if that'll happen because then you won't have teacher. You won't have someone who can guide you. Maybe I should read her blog. Let me read her, and that's where.
Yeah, but it makes sense what she's saying.
Okay.
And this is what most of I felt like that for a lot of my life, right? People say do what's in your heart, but the problem is sometimes what's in your heart will lead you to disaster. So the distinguishing between bondage and what's in an intuition for more in life, that's where you need a teacher.
Yeah.
Because sometimes what's in your heart is I want to kill that person. So you're going to do it?
Yeah.
You are angry and you want to take a knife and finish it, right? That's one example. So what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Or what's in your heart is jumping out the window.
Yeah, right. But that's where I think sometimes you said that we of course need to do what's in our heart, but we need to go deeper in our heart to really find out. Those are impulses, what you are saying, isn't it?
Right, that's right. So the difference between actually, because what happens is what's in our heart, that's our soul or our pure motivation is sometimes so covered up that we don't even feel it.
Yeah.
And then we get all messed up.
Right. And then anyway, so her blog was a little trigger for my thoughts, and then I started thinking from her reading her blog. She didn't write this part, that if we are more connected, we are more happy. We are more connected with the people we love, our nature, our surroundings, entire universe. Sort of, a feeling of connection, that feeling of unhappiness creeps in when that connection loosens.
That's what all of the saints, gurus, and wise people say. Whatever book you read, the more you feel one with the universe, when you feel one with a tree, with a bird, when you have that sense of connection to life, you're never lonely.
Yeah.
Then you found your heart in a way, which is the heart of the universe, is the heart of love, is the heart of life.
But the connection with trees and birds is still way far for me. Right now
me too. Somebody said to me 20 years, 30 years ago, 20, 30, 40, 50, go converse with a tree. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, even right now when you're saying, I don't know what you're talking about really. I know there are tree huggers out there, they go hug trees and all.
Okay, well, but that only tells you, and that is an honest answer because I don't feel one with the whole universe either. But I feel one with with my, little by little, I felt some of that connection that gave me love with some people, with some things, with some plant. Does that make sense? And that
Yeah.
gives you hope. Oh, I see what they're talking about. Even though I still cannot connect with feeling one with the ocean, at times I have felt one with the ocean. I have forgotten myself for a moment. Mm? So I know it's there. I may not be fully participating in it.
Okay. So anyway, so when I was thinking about that, then the word came was intimacy, and then I remembered a book which you forwarded years back, The Art of Intimacy. And I thought, why don't we read that book and in these calls and get further into this idea of intimacy?
I love it.
Okay. So let's see. I don't know. Maybe we're doing it first time. Let's see how it happens. Should we read it before and then come up with questions, or read it here, or discuss main things here? Anyway, the first chapter really is 4 scenarios, and maybe I think we all can relate with those 4 scenarios.
Okay.
4 scenarios in which intimacy was broken. Okay, so let's see. Let me just read through those scenarios. The first is this person, Tom. Tom was very distressed about how grumpy he was with Alice. Everything was going well. They had a son, 3-month-old, and Tom finally received a big promotion and raise, and financial worries there were no more financial worries. At first he thought his grumpiness and snapping at Alice had something to do with several months' interruption in their sex life, occasioned by some difficulty toward the end of her pregnancy and the prohibition on sex until she fully healed from her delivery. But Alice seduced him back when little Tommy was 2 months old and their sex life seemed better than ever. And yet he found himself snapping at her and being overly critical of things she did. This was a complete change in his behavior. It puzzled him how he could once been so adoring of Alice, only now to find himself being such a jerk to her. I found myself in those situations myself. Sometimes you don't know what's going on and you're just so critical of the other person. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Yeah.
Yeah. I that was a shock when in my the first time I got married, and then after 2 months, my whole all adoring feeling got interrupted with anger and criticism, and I was very confused. I didn't know, why am I doing this, right?
Yeah.
Because so I think that's I came without really thinking that once you fall in love, that feeling stays forever.
Yeah.
And then it's a rude awakening when it doesn't, and you don't understand what is going on.
Yeah. Right. And first, Tom thought it has something to do with sex. It wasn't. But the feeling continued. These emotions come from inside. We don't have any control over them, seems.
Yeah.
I feel angry, you feel angry, you start feeling angry. And just keep wondering what is happening. But, during that time, it's just a push from inside.
Yeah.
Making you feel like that, right? Okay, so that's a scenario. Second one is, everybody said Mindy and Matthew were perfect match. She was beautiful, outgoing, gregarious, while he was handsome and strong and silent. Because he seldom initiated conversation, she would had some moments of doubt about the relationship when they were courting. However, she readily accepted accepted his marriage proposal because his warmth, tenderness, and cheerful demeanor. When they were alone, made her feel wonderful and deeply loved. Before they married, she had always had been able to get him to share his deepest feelings, hopes, and dreams. But things changed when he opened his business. Even though his office was in their home, it became rare for them to have deep conversations. She knew he was busy and excited about the prospects of the future, but his feelings seemed more and more mystery to her. She began to question herself and wonder what she was doing wrong. She had put on a couple of pounds since they were married. Did he find her gross and disgusting? He had gone to a better college than she, and he never seemed to pay attention to ideas she had about his business. Did he think she was stupid? She was often disorganized while he was super organized and always had things neatly in place. Did he think she was incompetent? She noticed that she would now often put herself down. She noticed that now she would often put herself down when speaking to him, even though he never criticized anything she said. Very interesting. So, Mindy and Matthew, beautiful relationship before marriage, and the way the beautifulness is described is they could share their deepest feelings and hopes and dreams with each other. Especially the guy could share with her very well, and there was a beautiful feeling of togetherness. After marriage, this guy has got business, and he would never come and talk to her in that way, the way it was before.
Mm-hmm.
And then she, as a result of that, she kept feeling, what's happening with me? Am I too overweight? Are my ideas not good enough? Am I disorganized? What's about me that he doesn't like and doesn't come the same way as it was before? Okay. Any comments on that?
Well, it sounds like attack self, right?
Attack self, yeah.
I mean, here you have what I'm hearing is because I don't have the book with me, but here is a couple, right? And something gets interrupted in their dynamic.
Yeah.
They were talking to each other, everything was marvelous, and then all of a sudden there is a change.
Yeah.
He started working at home, and all that intimacy that she had is not there. So that's a classic when joy and so her joy and interest was interrupted in the marriage.
Yeah.
So then what happens in that, if one doesn't pay close attention, is that's when shame appears.
Yeah.
There's an interruption, and then there is the feeling of shame. And for most of us, because shame is something, an affect that very few people talk about, what happens is we don't take a pause and feel the shame because we don't know how to even identify it. Then we jump into the compass of shame. We jump into a defense mechanism. And what she's doing is she's jumping into attack self. Even before questioning, I wonder what's going on, right? She's already attacking herself. It has to be her fault. Maybe I lost weight, maybe I'm not interesting. And those are thinking. This is imagination. It's not real. And on top of it, she's imagining all that. She hasn't asked a question. She doesn't know whether this is a fact. So she goes into attack self, which is probably what she did as a child. It's a pattern that she had. And if you ask her, did you do, what happened before, probably that's her way of dealing with shame or interruption of joy and interest.
anger toward the other person.
That's attack the other.
That's attack the other.
Okay, because that's the same thing. Something got interrupted in his life. We don't, part of it is sex, part of it we don't know what it was. And then what he does is the opposite of what this girl was doing. Instead of saying, what am I doing wrong? Is it me? Is it that I'm a crazy person? Is it that I lost my charm? He goes and attacks the other. So we have 4 ways of dealing with shame, and 2 are opposite of each other. Some of us attack ourselves. Oh, I'm so sorry. I must have been me. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. What did I do that for? And then there are other people who attack the other person. Both of them are dysfunctional in the sense that it is imagination and it doesn't solve the problem whatsoever. It's just a way of discharging anger from the body that's not useful. Because you will do it again, as you can see from those stories in our life.
Okay, and let's get to the third one. That third one is Sally and Sarah had lived together for 15 years. The relation, Sally and Sarah, seems like it's a same-sex couple. The relationship had begun as a steamy affair when both were on the rebound so many years before had settled into a gentle, loving, supportive union that surprised both of them. The battles that plagued the first years of their life together seldom occurred anymore. The couple therapist they worked with for several years had helped them manage that part of their relationship. They often joked that they were now the S's squared. Sally and Sarah safe and secure. But over the past 6 months, Sarah had found herself strangely withdrawn. It reminded her how she had been around her family when she was a teenager, struggling with feelings about her sexual orientation. Sally did not seem any different to her, except that Sally's job had become more demanding. Sally often came home very late at night, too tired to do much of anything but have a quick dinner and then head straight to bed. Sarah was happy, but because Sally felt greatly fulfilled. Sarah was happy for Sally because Sally felt greatly fulfilled by her new responsibilities, and they both enjoyed the increased income. Sarah knew she should say something to Sally about what she was feeling, but she just could not bring herself to do it. It would upset Sally too much. She kept her thoughts to herself and more often begged off of sex when Sally approached her, claiming she did not feel well. I don't think I fully understood Sally and Sarah, right?
Again, for Sarah, that's another, for Sarah, things were going great for 15 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Happy. And all of a sudden, there is again an interruption in the dynamic of happiness and joy.
Yeah.
All right?
Her job. One of them started doing good in career. Others started feeling.
So one of them is doing well at job, getting feedback, feeling great, right? More money, more of this and that. And the other one is at home and sees that communication and intimacy with the husband less. It's interrupted. He goes to bed, and so she starts feeling anger. First is shame, but but then there is a sense of anger, or at least curiosity. What's going on here? Look how I'm feeling, and she chooses to repress that. She chooses not to share, so she's killing the intimacy at one level, right? In order not to hurt him, he's hurting double, because the intimacy. And so that's withdrawal. She's withdrawing from the relationship. And you begin by not telling, and then who the connectivity gets lost. Make sense?
That makes sense. The withdrawal part makes sense, that
you start withdrawing. Well, I'm not going to tell him how I feel, and I don't want. It could be I don't want to bother, or it could be, I'm afraid he'll leave me if I say that. I don't know. There's so many reasons why we don't want to tell the other, but as we don't want to tell the other, we stop intimacy.
Okay. All right, and the fourth one. Betty and Harry were finally in decent shape economically. They had gone through many ups and downs with money while helping out their 3 kids through college, but now they had almost paid off the mortgage, the credit card. They were really enjoying their time together. For them, the empty nest syndrome was one wherein they found the greatest closeness they had experienced since before the birth of their first child. Harry was not a big drinker. In fact, his friend called him a lightweight. When he went out with them, because he got tipsy on just a few couple of beers. This is why it was so troubling for both Betty and Harry that he seemed to get drunk almost every time her family came home to visit for a few days. The most he ever drank when he and Betty were alone was 1 beer, as did she. Her family had been extremely helpful with extra gifts of money for the kids when they were in college. They had always loved Harry and had been thrilled when he and Betty got married. They were not big drinkers, but they always brought beer with them when they visited, and each night while they were there, Harry had more than few and passed out in chair.
So, just one question. There was one sentence there. When the kids left to college, what happened? Was that a good feeling for Harry or a bad one?
Yeah.
A good feeling.
Yes, so they were enjoying for them, the empty nest syndrome was one wherein they found the greatest closeness.
Okay.
Experienced since the birth of their first child.
Okay, so this is a typical example of denial. And it is through alcohol. So again, they found joy and interest in their company, and then when the family comes back, that stops. It's another interruption that produces shame. And so how did he deal with shame? He's not doing what the others are doing. He's not attacking the other. He's not attacking the family or the wife. He's not attacking himself. Right? He's not withdrawing. But he's withdrawing in a way, but he's almost drinking like I don't see anything. That like there is no problem. Huh?
Yeah, I'm still not clear about the difference between withdraw and avoid.
Well,
the
withdraw means I'm not telling him. In withdrawal, either you leave the house, you leave the spouse, or you shut up and don't share. Denial, even at least she knows she's not telling the husband. In denial, he doesn't even know that's what he's doing. Huh? Does that make sense? He's not saying I'm drinking because this is driving me nuts. He's not aware.
He's not aware, okay.
So what he's doing is he's feeling the anxiety in his body and takes a drink to quiet the anxiety. And nothing happens because he's not aware. And if you were to tell him, look, this is what's going on with you, he will say, oh no, I just want to drink a beer and go to sleep. So I don't see anything. And I don't feel anything. And nothing is happening.
Right. Okay, so what we are really saying is that these 4 scenarios are universal in dealing with shame, and in each of these 4, we interrupt the intimacy, we cut the
cut the cord of intimacy with ourselves and intimacy with the other. And we are in a wheel of conditioning impulses, defense mechanisms. We are not here. We cannot reach our heart. You see, the shame. It's like we are in jail. We can't help repeating these patterns. Like our Gary would say, we are in a 2x2 room, tied, and with the tiger coming to eat us, and we can't do anything about it. We have lost our freedom and our inner connection and the connection with the world.
And that makes us less happy. That's how we started. Our whole premise is.
No, because you know.
Yeah.
Because you're not. Eventually, if you don't talk to your husband for another 10 years, you will have no connection with him at all. At one point, you wake up and say, who is this person? Is that making sense?
Yes.
So it's a place where ego gets caught. And we are there this world is about people who are into this thing. If you watch the news, it's either attack other, attack self, deny, or withdraw. And it's all a whole movement on avoiding shame.
Yeah. And here's something interesting he wrote in the book. He said, as you will learn in this book, the hidden challenge of shame is twofold. First off, it is hidden. Secondly, it makes things worse. However, the most salient motive behind my writing of this book is shame is an invaluable tool. It carries a message that is the key to developing true proficiency in the art of intimacy.
Wow.
So we can use this awareness of our shame to actually increase the intimacy. It is meant to increase the intimacy, and it's used to block the intimacy.
It is if you acknowledge that. Suppose in any of these cases the person says, wow, I am in shame, right? Let me see what my body says. Whoa, like my body's, at least in me, when that happens, I have a sense of burning in my chest, right? I feel a hand holding my feet want to run. And so then instead of disconnecting with the other person, I'm dealing with my symptoms, which is a very different thing, and I could still be connected to the other person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Until I find out what is going on with me. So that's what it means, that the shame can become more of a connector, because if I know, okay, when this person says ABC, I am into shame because my joy and interest have been interrupted. I don't have to blame the other person. I don't have to blame myself. I don't have to withdraw, and I don't have to drink beer to avoid it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is good. Then what I'll do is I'll post the link of this book, and those who want to follow this discussion, we can continue this reading this book this time and try to understand more about shame.
Well, thank you. Sounds like a good topic. It's been one of my favorites for at least the last 15 years.
Okay.
and it has helped me a lot to live a much freer life.
Okay. Okay.
And to all of you who are listening, hi, nice to see you.
Okay. Let me see if there are people and if someone wants to say something. I forgot that. Yeah, there are some people listening. If anyone has any comments, please go ahead, put it in the comments, and give them a few minutes. Okay, otherwise we'll see you next time.
Next time. Thank you so
Next Sunday.
much. Bye.